It's Barbie.
Anyone else planning on seeing any of the two movies?
Not in near future, I guess. Like maybe after 5 years.
Well, I want to do the double feature, but I don't want to go into it alone, especially since one of them is 3 hours long.
I think I will watch them like in 5 years when the hype is go down.
5 years sounds like what would Enes do?
5 years sounds like a good idea.
5 years sounds like a bad idea. I'm thinking like next week.
Oh, I'm expecting Barbie would come to streaming in like 2 months after its release, so I'm waiting for that. I haven't watched Tenet and other recent what was his name?
Christopher Nolan?
Yeah, Nolan's movies, recent Nolan's movies either. So
have you guys been to movies lately? Like besides this whole thing kind of started?
Not really.
No.
I can't even remember the last time I went.
Yeah, it's.
And this is my exact sentence that I said it like 1 year ago.
Oh wait, I completely lied. I remember I went to Across the Spider-Verse.
That was a good one.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. I went to it alone because all my friends hate movie theaters.
I do.
Binali, that's preposterous. I love going to a movie theater with you. If you have invited me, I would have, not to that movie in particular, but I would have gone to a movie with you if you invited.
And then we should go to the Barbenheimer double feature next week.
Okay.
I think.
I'm okay with this.
You can go. I don't mind you going.
You aren't in a position to like. This isn't about you.
I'm sorry, but everything is about Barbie.
This is an exciting development that people are this like so like it's not even just on a movie level. And I know that like I don't want to go into too much into like I don't want to sour the mood and go to the consumerism part because I know everyone is doing that. And I don't like I'm gonna be like very blunt. Entire left-leaning people can cancel me for this, but I do not give a shit about consumerism part because it is just exciting that a lot of people are just like this much invested in an event and like are dressing up for it out of their own volition and going to see it.
I agree.
Like this, I think outside the scope of just movies, it's exciting, and even for just movies, it's still exciting, especially with everything going on right now.
I completely agree with you. Like in Turkey, we are very excited about Oppenheimer more than Barbie because for the like last 2 months or so, everybody has been cosplaying like depressed, dark, grim situations. But I also, I don't think anybody would cancel you for not caring about something that they are caring about. I think in order to be cancelled, you need to do more. But
have you seen the internet?
But I don't think consumerism. Like, I agree that consuming stuff is an important part of the Barbie culture because it's a toy and you buy those things, and maybe the movie is a critic of it. The song is certainly a critic of it, even though people seem to not care about that aspect when they are using it for Barbie promotional material. But I think consuming things or like buying things in order to feel better isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like there is a certain way of making it a bad thing by doing it too much, but I think in general, doing something for the fun of it is a good thing.
Well, yeah.
So I'm very much behind the people who are hyping up to Barbie movie by wearing pink. If I do go to Barbie movie, I will be wearing my pink t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, it's beyond.
Is it still a t-shirt if it doesn't have arms?
I think so.
Or does it have to come in a t-shape?
Tank top or something like that?
It could be like no sleeves shirt still.
No,
it's still a t-shirt.
It's like no arms whatsoever. Like my shoulders are bare.
Yeah, I know.
Tank top.
Still a t-shirt, I think.
No, it's tank top.
Okay.
I don't know.
I do like tanks, so like.
Well, to me, it's more not even just the people part. Like the marketing jumping on it. Like, yes, they will. Like, are we just gonna allow anything marketing jumps on because it's popular to like let it be soured for us when it's genuine and like exciting development? That's the part I am like iffy about. People just immediately going on writing think pieces. But that's beside the point. I think I am very excited to see it in theaters. Like, I'm looking forward to it.
To be honest, I'm kind of thinking like if there wasn't this much of a hype around and then this much marketing with Barbie, and I don't know if I would have gone, like, I don't know if I would go, like, I don't know how to phrase that sentence, but I'm not sure if I would have gone. Wait, is that correct? That
is correct.
I mean, it mostly depends on how you are going to continue the sentence.
But yeah, like, I'm not really sure because you can really make a bad Barbie movie, and I always felt like, does it movie worth it, right? Does it worth for me to go to cinema to see it, or is it worth for me to stay in? That was the main reason I was kind of like waiting on it. And then a lot of people kind of around my own circle commented that, you know what, it wasn't actually bad and it was fun to watch in a big screen, and that's why I was like, okay, I can give it a try. And
No, I was fully trusting it would be good just based on the director.
yeah,
Unlike Oppenheimer.
true.
Yes, I'm a Christopher Nolan hater.
You are you like I wasn't before. I thought left wingers wouldn't cancel you, but I think Christopher Nolan people are gonna come after you. They are gonna find where you live, and like you are gonna.
I don't care. I don't care. Prestige
They have
sucks.
just learned how to make atomic bombs, Binali.
But Prestige is one of the ones that I like, but that's not the point. Go on.
Prestige is a Christopher Nolan movie.
Let me add a nuance. First half of Prestige, no notes, perfect. Second half of Prestige, how
Hi, Barbie.
dare you?
Dude,
How dare you?
No, I'm gonna censor all of this with the little beep. I may even put out an atomic bomb explosion sound for censoring. Or maybe I can if I cut Margot Robbie saying hi Barbie and use that as a censoring. So is that a copyright problem?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, then. I'm gonna look into it. But I think it's fair use because we are talking about it, right?
Yeah. Well, I think again, Nolan
because it's also in the trailer. Public domain? Question mark trailer?
No, that's not how public domain works.
I think Elif may be onto something. I think trailers are on pub.
No, because trailers get DMCA'd on YouTube all the time.
Okay then.
Yeah. As an avid Red Letter Media watcher, I am familiar with it.
So, lastly on the cinema topic, we've talked about this before, as our listeners may remember. Has anything changed for you since then?
Yes.
When you are using
your feelings towards cinema,
when you are using Grammarly and when you start a sentence with the word "this," it gives this warning. It says it is unclear what this is referring to. So I'm telling this to you. It is unclear what you are referring to by saying this.
Cinema.
Thank you for clarifying.
Okay, hang on. So the thing that made a little bit more change for me is, I don't know how to put it in a single word. I'm just gonna maybe ramble on a bit. I think it was biggest impact was the whole strike situation, because with the strike situation, because when we talked about cinema, we always compare in the episode we talked about, we always compared it to like we have streaming, we have this sea of content, we have this accesses anytime. So why would you go risk an horrible experience? Because sometimes theater is a horrible experience depending on other people out of your control. That was the biggest thing for me. But now looking back on it, especially after this strike, and especially in the past year with what happened with streaming, with companies canceling finished movies for tax reasons and not putting them on streaming. Companies randomly one night without warning pulling an entire catalog of things off streaming that does not exist in like any physical form. And especially after strike, seeing that yes, we have access to the sea of content on streaming, but the reason we have access to it is because even the biggest shows have like prominent roles, people who are getting zero payments on recurring payments, as opposed to like theaters, which is why they're so much cheaper and so much easier to access to. So with how the strikes are going and like with how companies are completely against negotiating anything because they don't want to lose that, the question for me is like, is it worth it for this situation to exist if this is what it comes to? Because if this is pushed to its extreme, at some point streaming is just going to turn into garbage to throw content at instead of like making anything meaningful out of it. So I think my stance has changed on that front. That yeah, there is a reason that companies are pushing us to streaming, and it's not out of like their own goodwill. That oh, this is so much more convenient for you. It's that oh, this is so much easier to exploit, and there is no like. On this show, we talk a lot about things catching up, especially like legally, and this is kind of that kind of situation where the economies of the industry have not caught up to streaming, and that is being exploited. So I would rather go to cinema and support that when I have the chance, which is why next week we are going to Barbenheimer.
Okay.
Wow.
I have a few things to say too, as both as an answer to your question and as a response to what Binali said. First, I want to say the situation with streaming is very interesting because usually in the economic study of economics, there's an assumption that the closer something gets to the conditions of a free market, it would be better for the customer. However, I think with the streaming services, the situation where Netflix was the monopoly was better for the customer. As more and more streaming services enter the streaming arena, like Disney Pluses and Amazon thing, I think even though streaming platforms resemble a free market situation closer because there's a lot of competition between them in order to get the best customer, what a single streaming service is able to offer has significantly reduced, and because of that, no streaming service is particularly desirable. This is why they are hemorrhaging money, especially in Disney's case, they are hemorrhaging a lot of money, and the service quality is getting worse and worse. So in this situation in particular, free market has actually hurt the customer, because I remember when Netflix first came to Turkey, it was a really good thing for the customer. It was like it was very possible to watch shows legally, like with the legal ability to streaming things legally has came to Turkey. Like for Americans or Canadians or British, I think maybe Canadians a little bit because of the VPN commercials, but it is very difficult to watch stuff legally in a country that isn't US, because it is like what am I gonna do? Am I gonna go to a bookstore and buy DVDs of seasons of shows and then put those DVDs inside my computer? I don't even think my computer has a CD slot. Like it is very difficult to watch stuff legally if you are out of US, and that was a good thing for the customer, for movies too. But now with the streaming platforms fighting for bits of scraps they can find, I do think and also like both Barbie and Oppenheimer, both of these movies have one thing that they share. They aren't franchise movies. They aren't an expanded cinematic universe. They are all relatively original stories. Like, I think people don't go to, one of the main reasons people don't go to the cinema is because making a new, original, and interesting movie is considered to be bad for business, for movie producers.
Risky.
Very
Like,
much so.
I think if there were good movies coming out, like it happened now, people would be interested in going to them. Like it's similar to how, there was this game Wordle last year.
Yeah.
Everybody engaged to it simultaneously, and it was like this very big celebratory thing. I think people like being engaged about the same thing with a large community.
I agree.
It's
Definitely.
just that, and this is something that cinema can offer.
And this is
Mhm.
getting rare and rare, like because of social media, how everybody has their own feeds or their own designated algorithm created content. It's kind of hard to share, like in that larger scale of people, the same thing, you know?
Yeah, I think that's why people are really, really excited about Barbie. Because if you go to a shopping mall, in Turkey, cinemas are often in shopping malls. They are usually not their separate building. If you go to a shopping mall and if you see a person who is outrageously wearing pink, you're immediately like, that person is going to the same movie as me. And it's fun.
Yeah, it is
I think
fun.
people like that.
Yes. I agree.
Uniforms.
Yeah, uniforms are fun.
Doing the same thing.
Yeah. And I mean, in the streaming situation, like you said, it has become worse for the customer the more companies jumped in. And what makes me think even more is like these companies were able to jump in because, like I said, there wasn't like anything protecting the streaming space. Now, when this like strike is settled and hopefully like settled in a positive way, where like actors in streaming content do get their share of work, like in theaters, then what's even going to happen to the streaming prices? Because they will, like, companies will never let that money come from their own pockets. That's going to be reflected
True.
on the prices. So what's going to happen with this, like, 10 billion Netflix clones that barely have any subscribers because all the content is spilled between like all of them? It's gonna be weird. It's gonna start turning into cable.
Yep.
I was thinking of something that but I don't know the answer to it. Like when you buy a physical copy of the movie or a digital copy from iTunes or um, Google Play, um, would that be different from seeing the movie in the theater?
I mean, I am not entirely sure what you're asking here. Like, obviously, your home screen is
Different
much
for
smaller.
who? Yeah.
No, in terms of supporting the people who
Huh.
were
I see.
making the movie.
I think they get residuals just from theaters, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how much physical media adds to it, but we have seen that streaming does not add to it at all.
Yeah, that's the part I know, but I wasn't sure about the part I wanted to look.
How it used to be, right? Like how back in the early 2000s, like how the CD or DVD selling actually affected the actors and the developers. That's a really good
Yes.
question. I generally don't know the answer to, but maybe we
Because-
can think about so sorry, but like the CD, like the artist CD, like I guess it's not really similar to the movie theater. Like wait.
I
We
mean,
need
it
to-
kind of is
yeah.
if you're talking about the music industry.
Yeah, I was going to say like not movie theater, but I'm not sure if it's how it correlates to music production versus movie production in CD consumption and the revenue being divided with the creators.
The reason I'm asking this is because I would rather buy a copy of the movie to support than go to cinema and have subpar experience, because I really don't like movie theaters. Like I get uncomfortable. I hate sitting in the same spot for 3 hours.
Yeah. Same.
And that 10-minute break is not enough.
Never watch a Bollywood movie. if you hate sitting in the same
Uh,
spot for 3 hours.
No,
No,
but
no, no.
if you are watching a Bollywood movie, you would be moving around, you would be dancing, you would be crying. Like
Yeah.
Bollywood movies are a whole thing. It's even cardio, I think, a Bollywood movie.
The thing I don't like is it when I do it in the movie theater, because
No, I think that's a valid concern still.
I want to pause my movie when I want to go to pee, or no, I don't want to think about when is the break. I really need to go and pay for overpriced
Food.
snacks, which I wouldn't. I would buy from the theater, the markets, and sneak them into the movie theater.
In
I don't
conclusion,
know.
does not
As-
support illegals, contraband carrying to the movie theaters. Like, consult your local movie theater to see if that's allowed or not.
And the most important part is I want to talk about the movie during the movie. You can't do that in theaters.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't like. Obviously, it depends on the movie. If the movie does not engage me, I don't. But I don't really think about when is the break when I'm watching the movie on a movie theater.
Big question. Have you guys ever left a movie theater because you didn't like the movie in the middle of it?
Yes, I'm not in the middle of
Yes.
it. I just stood up and
I
walked away.
didn't.
It wasn't even in the break.
Yeah.
Nice. It's such a
But
power move. I don't know. I like it. I like, you know what?
No, but Elif, here's the thing. Here's the point you are maybe missing because I haven't told. I stood up. I got out of the theater. I walked into the theater next door. So
Yeah, even better. That's how you should do it.
again, crimes are bad, people. Don't do crimes.
Well, I didn't do that, but I went to the bathroom because I couldn't wait for the break, and I missed
No.
that part of the movie.
But no, I agree with you. Like,
How did-
I agree that. Oh wait, go on.
It's silly. How did I manage to not go to toilet during university exams? Go on.
Well, I was gonna say, like I think your experience is very valid, and I think that is why I am hoping that this thing gets settled in a way where streaming is also a good way to support the people who work on these things, because there are people who just genuinely do not like movie theater experiences. I don't mind them, especially if the movie is engaging, and that's what the current situation is, that if you want to support the industry itself, the theater is pretty much the only way. I'm assuming physical media is also a good way to support it still. We just know that streaming isn't, which is a shame because it is convenient.
But are we talking about streaming or like buying or renting a soft copy of it?
I think buying a copy of it is still support.
Yeah, I was talking about CD copies or digital copies. Also, I
digital
think CD
copies.
copies.
Guys, can we saying CD? We are showing our age. This is not gonna pull with Gen Z crowd.
Yeah, wait. I heard that now CDs also come with codes that you can enter into digital platforms to have it.
Oh my
on
god, I've
to
seen
watch, because nothing has CD players anymore.
That's true.
I've seen Disney sell
That's whole another thing. But go on.
they're selling, I don't remember which movie. Was it Little Mermaid?
I remember.
They're selling discless physical media, which is, that's not a thing. You're selling a box. That's what you're selling.
Oh, but I was thinking about something else. What Disney did when theaters were closed, but they want that sweet theater movie theater money.
Yep.
What did
Do you
they
know-
do?
On top of having a subscription to Disney Plus, they required people to rent the movie.
Oh, I remember that disaster. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
No, this is something else. I've seen this recently. If I can find it.
Yeah, but
Hang on.
I think now games are like that because CDs can't hold the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
obviously, like 72 gigabytes of file is in a game.
72. I have installed Baldur's Gate 3 2 days ago. It requires 150 gigabytes on an SSD to work.
No, I don't think it needs to be on an SSD to work. That's crazy.
Yes. And you know what? Opening the game, yeah, I do get it, but things are getting out of hand.
No, I don't get it because like if you want to do a game with very high graphics, like you already have Far Cry and the game that you kill robotic dinosaurs.
I don't think it's about the graphics.
What is it about? What can be 200 gigabytes big that isn't about graphics?
I really want to see the behind the scenes. This is tangent of a tangent. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna wrap it up real quickly. I don't think it's purely about graphics. The graphics are good. I think it's about the engine itself, because this has been ever since ever since I've played a custom Neverwinter Nights 2 mod. This is the closest I have got to a D&D experience. And I think it's all these interactions you can do, and the engine running in the behind is that requiring that much SSD. The size is definitely graphics, but I think SSD part is that due to that.
I mean, look.
Okay, now I'm interested in the game.
I am also interested in the game. Graphical computations would happen on your graphic card. So if something is on SSD, it is probably because of the interaction. Like you want to load a lot of material.
Yes. That's why I'm saying I get the SSD part.
You can put it in front of the player in a better time. Like, yeah, that's probably why I'm interested in the game, but I don't want to.
I still don't get the 150 gigabytes part because that is outrageous. Anyways.
So yes, back to the original topic. Enes, has your opinion on cinema changed in the last, 10 months or something?
I don't think so. Like, I still wait if a movie worth watching until like some time pass. Like, I still, as a spoiler loving person, I can wait long enough, I think, for Barbie and Oppenheimer craziness will end.
You wouldn't want to get spoiled on.
There is very little to spoil in Oppenheimer.
Like, I don't think, there's nothing, I don't think that there is something interesting at all. But like, after it will pass, and people won't talk about them, and I will in secret watch them. I think in 5 years I will have some time to watch. If they are still valuable or worth enough to watch at that time, then I will, and I won't even talk about it that I watched them, and it will be easy. I mean, maybe like it will be a surprise for the producer to earn some money out of their old films. Oh, someone watched it. It will be fun. But until then, I won't watch them and talk about them. And as this podcast went on, I didn't talk about them at all because I don't want to watch them.
You heard it, industry. Enes does not care about you.
I think Christopher Nolan is crying right now. Saying, why isn't Enes watching my movie? I made it so special for him.
You made it 3 hours.
Currently, the last movie I watched is it was yesterday or so, or the day before. It was Austin Powers.
Amazing pick.
It was from 2000. It was from 2000s. I mean,
I'm sure it aged horribly, but
yes,
great pick nevertheless.
Were there politically incorrect jokes all over the place? That's the kind of vibe that movie is giving me. I haven't watched it.
I mean, watching them today, watching them today is kind of, it creates its own parody in a way.
That's an amazing way to put it. I would agree. Yeah, it's.
I mean, the way they are joking about
Rice.
misogyny or so, like
No,
race,
that's
misogyny, and then I don't know. I mean,
it's the type of the movie that's punchline to the half the jokes are sexual harassment, which is
yes,
not great.
yes, watching them like it puts an extra layer watching it today. I mean, and maybe in 5 years I will look at into the consumerism and see the past. I mean, today in a different way when watching Barbie movie, and it will be fun.
Yeah, like maybe 10 years from now, there would be a whole different context about why Barbie movie is iki.
Maybe.
I mean, but you never know, because like the atomic bomb exploded 60 years ago and it's still not an iki subject. So
Well, is it not?
We'll see.
I think Japanese would disagree.
I think Japanese did not cancel Oppenheimer in their.
I am
They
pretty
did.
sure. The movie, I don't think they canceled the movie, but like I am pretty sure
They did cancel the movie. I don't know about. Maybe they did.
No. I don't think they canceled the movie, but they made their opinions of Oppenheimer very clear.
Not like they canceled it on the internet.
Wait, I actually have an anecdote about this. Because people were making like I don't know if you guys have seen any of it, but because people were making like Barbenheimer fan art with like atomic bomb
okay.
explosions in background. Some people in Japan were offended by it, and to
Yeah.
counter it, they started making 9/11 memes at American
Oh,
people.
wow.
But because American people are American, they started just laughing at 9/11 memes because Americans were making them like 2 years into it already.
It's very funny. So I agree with the Americans. Like I am not saying either the atomic bomb nor 9/11 was funny. What I'm saying is that response is funny.
Yes. That's an important clarification.
Yeah, like
But no,
terror attacks are never funny. As a country that has been frequently terror attacked and ignored by American people, I can say that I am not a fan of terror attacks. The whole podcast, in fact, in conclusion, we don't like terror attacks at all.
yeah, we don't support them.
Not at
do
all,
it.
not at all. Indeed.
I think in the about the future, what I'm interested in, like how this is gonna affect the movie making in general, because in the past recent years, and this is not just due to streaming, this is due to Marvel, the like what we call like more intricate filmmaking moved on to like mini series on streaming services.
I think there was this quote.
Like you know what, like they kind of turned into like this 8-hour movies.
Yeah.
Like there will be a mini series on this, a mini series on this, and it would have like big list actors acting out amazing performances and like actually interesting teams with interesting storylines. And the movie theaters were for Marvel movies. So I am interested in how this whole situation is gonna affect that, and like where are we gonna go from here?
Yeah, but because you mentioned Marvel movies, one of the articles like about Barbie that I read recently said that Mattel is now trying to turn each
I saw.
product into a
Well,
movie and create its own movie universe.
And you know what? I am not concerned about that at all, because this is like, when you look at a situation and it goes, okay, this is completely a lightning in a bottle situation.
Yeah.
This situation is that the whole like Barbie and Oppenheimer situation is such a lightning in a bottle situation. It's just they are never going to be able to replicate that. So I am completely like free of concern there.
I think the same way. I just wanted to put it here. That conversation was also happening too, like because like overall eventually the sad part is, and that's why the whole strike is happening, these big corporations want to just milk the money, right? Like milk the cow to get the money.
I don't even oppose companies trying to milk money out of products. Like as long as we end up with good products, I
Yeah.
don't care about the milking bit, because like I completely am behind the person who says because Barbie was successful, we should do movies about every toy, because the other movies are gonna tank, and when that happens,
Yeah.
maybe they will finally learn that that's not the point. Like
Maybe they'll probably not learn it.
I think they do learn it. I mean, look, in my honest opinion, Marvel ruined cinema for everyone for like
Mhm.
5 years or so. They have made such a horrible job out of doing movies that even though they were able to earn money, the people who want to make better movies, like you said, moved on to streaming sites and they started doing these series. I really like that concept. I really like the 8-hour long movie as a miniseries kind of thing.
I did too.
I think it gives ideas time to incubate, like time to actually grow. Because one of my main problems with movie as a concept is it is usually not able to. It can develop like one or two ideas, but interesting movies tend to have a lot of ideas that require development.
Mhm.
Especially with the spectacle movies. Like there are some very interesting questions in Age of Ultron, I think. The one with AI trying to take over the world. But you aren't watching interesting concepts. You are watching people shooting at each other.
Yes.
And
Which is why every movie should be 12 Angry Men.
you know the interesting, and those ideas are indeed explored. Like the ideas that are interesting in the Age of Ultron are explored in WandaVision, I am told, which is a miniseries. So you see where I'm going with this. Movies have this interesting. Actually, it's very similar to Eurovision. You know how people have a certain expectation of what the Eurovision song should be,
Yes.
and usually they end up with boring songs because they are trying to replicate that. That's similar with movies. Like
yeah.
The people want to do interesting movies, but about half their runtime is wasted on stupid things that people think should be in movies, like shooting scenes. I really don't like shooting scenes. I'm an old person.
I hate the parts with really loud explosions.
I think they are very boring. I think they destroy the pacing. I think they are very bad narratively. Nobody cares in a shooting scene because, like, nobody's gonna get hurt. And even if they do hurt, it's inconsequential because the entire movie is inconsequential because entire movie is an elongated shooting scene.
You know what? There are exceptions.
Even action movie producers know this. Like when you watch Die Hard, the original one, there are like 10 minutes of fighting. They know it's boring. They don't put it there. But
I have a counterexample.
Are you going to give as an example Die Hard 4 where they run with a car over to a helicopter to drop it?
No. I'm gonna give as a counterexample Mad Max Fury Road.
Very good movie.
Action movie does not stop its action because it explores its themes through actions. And I think the biggest problem with the current, like especially the Marvel movies, is that they view action and story as different things, that we're gonna have action story. While Mad Max Fury Road is a movie, again, that is like pure action. I think there is like total of like 5 minutes of breathing time between two action scenes that are like an hour long each. And it works because the story is intricate with action and the themes are intricate with action that you cannot separate them.
No, I agree. But the reason why Mad Max Fury Road is like this needn't have been the case. This could have very easily been not the case. But the reason Mad Max Fury Road can explore its themes through action and Marvel can't is because Marvel movies don't explore themes at all.
Yes.
Like the closest thing Marvel movies has got to exploring a theme over the past 3 years is people disagree sometimes. I mean, they do, but like that's not a theme.
There's Guardians of Galaxy. That's the only exception. That does have themes that it explores.
Even though Guardians of Galaxy is technically a Marvel movie, I don't consider it as a Marvel movie because it's like, because it explores themes. Like it's
because they give its director creative vision.
I would have watched. I mean, I have watched Guardians of Galaxy 1 and 2. I think 3 came. I didn't see it.
Yes.
But I consider it more similar to a movie than all of the other things Marvel movies do. I think Marvel movies are just like this action scene with familiar faces. Like, I think it's but actually that's fine because they are comic books. Like they are movies that are similar to comic books in the in what they explore too, not just in visuals. Like comic books, there are some comic books that explore really deep themes,
Yes,
but they
And
aren't
there-
Avenger comic books.
indeed.
Some comic books are just for fun. You just want to watch people beating each other, and that there's nothing categorically wrong with that. But it is also what happened with the Marvel movies. I per se don't want to watch people beating each other, so I don't go to Marvel movies. But you see where I'm going with this. I'm going to Barbenheimer.
Even if I didn't want to see people beat each other, I wouldn't. Yes. I'm gonna watch Prison Truman beat the out of Oppenheimer.
Somebody's good. Is there a fight scene in Oppenheimer? Why?
Oh, I don't think so. I'm making a joke. I don't think there is a single action scene in Oppenheimer. It's literally 3 hours of people talking.
Every single science and history YouTuber I am following has dropped something about Oppenheimer. I was tactically not watching them.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Oh,
Because me
even,
too.
Even our school dropped something about Oppenheimer.
Guys,
I
I don't think we
that.
should. I don't think we should use the verb drop.
Sorry.
Oppenheimer. That's a bit insensitive.
So far, nobody from Japan has watched our show, so I hope this isn't the one they start with.
Oh no.
Again, we don't condone atom bomb dropping, and similarly, we don't condone some of the actions done by Japan during World War II. We, in general, believe world warring is a bad thing. Like you shouldn't.
We did it twice. Let's not do it again.
Like if you're a world war starting type of person who watches this episode, know that we don't support that type of action. You probably shouldn't.
Okay. Yeah, it was really interesting. I think so too. I'm really looking forward to watching the Oppenheimer this week, and it's 3 hours and it's supposed to be pretty good. But thank you so much for everyone listening to our episode on this issue, and we are hoping to see you in our socials. You can follow us on Instagram, Inconclusion_podcast. You can also find us on Twitter, or I don't want to say it, but X_inclusion.
Oh no.
Underscore.
It's Twitter.
We are also in LinkedIn. Just go for Inconclusion, or you can also find us over Reddit, which is r-inconclusion podcast. It's r-inconclusion podcast. Thank you so much for listening. See you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.